Hi, everybody. Welcome back to your favorite podcast of all time. That's right. It's the Triforce podcast, and we're all here.
Hurrah!
Oh my
back.
goodness.
We had a summer vacation,
The stars
a long
have
one.
aligned.
I know.
And for the first week in what feels like
I
months,
think it's 5 weeks.
It's
we
been
are-
like 5 weeks.
the three of us
So
are actually here. So what's
So-
been happening? Oh, there's so much news.
Yeah.
there's so much
has-
news.
So much has happened in our
There's
lives.
almost so much has happened that I can't even think of one thing that's happened.
Yeah.
I'm overwhelmed with thoughts of happenings.
So
It's been a busy old summer, friends.
the big thing was you doing TI,
That was
the international
my
for
big
Dota
thing.
2.
That was
Yeah,
That was
Man,
C-Flex.
did they get Jim Henson to do those puppets of you guys? Because that was crazy.
He's dead, dude.
I know, but like he's got like
Company.
people. He's got
Also,
people, right?
he's a ghost.
They preserved his legacy.
They
his
did,
puppets
and
stuff.
the person that did them used to work with Jim Henson. Okay, so
I knew
Yeah.
it. Like it,
and
you could just tell.
She works for Valve, so she suggested
Oh.
to Valve, "Hey, you know what we could do?" So for anyone that didn't watch TI 6, which was the big Dota tournament, $20 million tournament, you've probably read about it and seen it and stuff like that.
Whoa, was it 20 million?
$20 million, yeah.
Shit.
First prize,
I didn't
the
watch
team got
any
like
of it.
8 point something. Oh, dude, it was amazing. It was the best,
Oh, I
the
shoulda.
best TI ever. Like hands
God.
down, everybody agrees, best TI ever.
Who won?
Wings Gaming, the Wings Gaming. So they're a
Right.
Chinese team.
Okay.
We had another conversation about how terrible the team names are, and they are pretty bloody awful. But
The Wings.
the Wings Gaming. I mean, that's.
Do you
that's
remember
amazing.
that sitcom called Wings?
Yes, so about the pilots at the airfield and everything.
That's
yes.
right. Yeah.
Which was also, it was pretty bad, but
Terrible,
oddly
yeah.
popular. But so the tournament's going on, and they say to us after a couple of days, we want to do a special thing with you guys one of the days where we'll cut back from the game to the panel. So it's like, our panel, like a sort of, the way on the sports show they have like the desk and all that. Cut back to that, and instead of being you guys, you're going to be replaced with Muppets. And with professional puppeteers, and you'll hide under the desk, continue to talk as normal, and just pretend it's not happening. Just have a regular conversation, but it'll be with Muppets. So you can see this segment. It's on YouTube and everything like
It
that.
was great.
It was
Yeah,
unbelievable.
funny. I saw that.
Those puppets, like the lady that made them, she just had to do it from photographs. So they gave her a load of pictures of us, and she came up with these Muppets. And yeah, it was fantastic. I met my puppeteer, and
Nice.
it was one of those things that I just think I don't see how you're going to top this, like with a TI-7. Like I don't know what else they could do. 'Cause-
Did you have to do that thing when you met your puppeteer where he's like he had to spend the day with you and get to know the ins and outs of you so that he could adequately puppet you?
No,
Yeah.
she met me for 5 minutes and she did a great job. That was it. We like chatted a bit.
Nice.
She was like, "Oh, this is weird," and I talked, and she sort of moved the puppet along with me while I was talking to the puppet. That was weird.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, and I was like,
That's
"Wow."
fucking awkward.
So it was just
Yeah.
live. It was just 100% live. They just had to keep up with whatever we said. So they just had to get to know our voice, and then once they had that they were
Yeah.
fine. So yeah, it
More
was,
like
it was
it's
really
like
weird.
speech patterns and stuff,
Yeah,
right? They
yeah.
try to like gauge your flow or whatever.
It was something else. The tournament itself was
Wouldn't it
amazing.
be weird, right, if your puppeteer turned out to be a sort of a lookalike of you as well? Like just by sheer coincidence. And then you had you.
and was
the
a female
puppet
as well.
of you. And then
And
you
then
again.
Me again. God, that would
Yeah.
be weird.
Yeah,
And
that'd be
I
really
turn
weird,
around.
yeah.
It's like that bit in Being John Malkovich, where Malkovich goes into his own head, and all he sees is
Oh my god.
Malkovich's. So it'd be like that.
Yeah.
Malkovich,
Man, that
Malkovich.
film.
Malkovich.
Malkovich. I enjoyed that film, actually. I thought
I
it
did
was
too.
It was
I
good.
remember it. Yeah, it's a
I
good
thought
one.
it was a fucking weird film, but I liked it.
It was a really
Very
weird one,
dark.
yeah.
It started off as kind of goofy. It got super, super dark.
Yeah.
And then Sir Action Slacks had his sock puppet.
He did,
thing,
yeah.
So, I mean, that was hilarious because I guess they hadn't planned for Sir Action Slacks to have his own puppet.
Oh no, that was planned all along.
It was planned deliberately
Yeah,
to
yeah.
not give him a puppet and just
because
make him a
he's-
sock puppet.
Because he's kind of a goofball. He had his own puppet and everything. That was it. I mean, but she made it. Like it was a professionally made
Sock puppet.
sock puppet. But
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Honestly, I
That's
love
hilarious.
Slacks. I think. Do you know what? Like, yeah, Ti was great. You know, I've known for
He was brilliant.
for 3 years that you and Slacks are like the kings of doing it, and you did it. You did it great. So professional.
Thank you.
Exactly what it needed to be. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, yeah. From me too. Like, I think you're really good looking. You're like in really good shape and stuff.
Thanks,
and,
sexy.
Really nice.
Thank
Well, I
Yeah,
was watching TI
really
for a bit,
round.
and
smooth.
it's like this moment where time
The bowling
stood
ball.
still, and then Dreamweaver started
Guys,
playing in the
please,
background.
stop sucking
Like
my
got
balls.
watery eyes and stuff. It's like Dreamweaver, I believe.
When you came back, you were like totally drained, though,
Oh
right?
God, it was 2 weeks. So
Yeah,
I
it's
came
pretty
back. I
intense.
spent like 3 days, 4 days, feeling still jet lagged and shitty, and I couldn't sleep. So I'd be up till like 4:30, and then I'd wake up at like midday, and then I'd think, shit, how am I going to get rid of this jet lag? And then we went away at the weekend, went down to see the kids because I hadn't seen them in like 3 weeks. So went down to see them, and then came back, and I was like, I was thinking just before we went away, can I stand the idea of going to a hotel again? And I thought, I can't. I need to be at home and just relax and get everything, just get my head right.
Whoa, wait a second. You got back from being away for 2 weeks to a house with no kids in it?
Oh, I know, dude. It was the dream.
Holy
It was
fuck.
amazing. They're down with the grandparents.
That is incredible. Damn.
They're still down with the grandparents.
Shit.
I know. They literally spent a month. Either they were at the house, grandparents looking after them for 2 weeks, then they went down to the coast with the grandparents. So they've been with my mom or Mrs. F's parents, either way, for like the last month.
Man,
So they have not. Yeah, it's been something else.
next summer that has to be the thing for my family.
Do it.
Because
It's great.
holy shit, this summer, this is like the first summer vacation that my son's had, like because he finished nursery, right? And holy shit, you really do get used to them being at school. And like when they're home all day and not at school, it's like, wow, what the fuck
horrible.
am I supposed to do
Yeah.
now?
They get bored.
Man, it's really intense. Yeah.
They're really bored. And unless, I mean, what I've always thought is, wouldn't it be amazing to just live on a house by the beach where it's nice weather all the time,
Yeah.
and when it's summer, you just open the back up and the kids just play. Boom. But you can't do that. You live in London. You open the back doors, they're bored in 10 seconds. So it's like,
I mean, we kind of have that, and it really doesn't work that way at all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just like you open the back doors, you're like, hey, go outside. Like, no, I don't want to.
I'm bored,
Oh,
play with me.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
Playing with
No.
you hurts my soul. I hate it.
What a thing to say.
Oh, it's so
What a thing to
Have you
say.
played with kids? They're the worst. They're the worst.
Especially small kids, because
Ugh.
their idea of having fun and playing is so fucking alien to adults.
It's
just
not
like, what?
fun. It's
It's
not
very
heartwarming
repetitive,
either. No.
weird, intense, like
And don't Sips, do you get
relentless.
this? You have to do it the way they tell you.
I know.
No, that one's the princess, that one's the king.
Yeah, and you're
Don't
like-
touch each other. Just shut up. Just play the fucking game. Let's get some dice out. If I roll a 20, you can't speak again for 10 minutes. I'll put the egg timer on. That's the
What's
kind of game.
happened to you two?
It's like that with books at night too. Like when you read them storybooks, because there's always a couple of books that they have that aren't really books,
and they're bad.
They'll be mostly sticker books or something like that,
Right.
with no story. And they're like, yeah, let's read that one. It's not even a fucking story.
Yeah,
like,
there's no
let's read
story.
something good.
It's just a
Like,
safety manual for an electric fire. Why are you obsessed with this thing?
Yeah, we've got like this golden opportunity to read something cool, and like, what are we gonna do? Just look at stickers? That fucking sucks dick. I don't want to do that.
They're
Yeah,
the
let's
worst.
crack open Game of Thrones. Let's crack
Yeah, let's
open
get it out.
Anna Karenina.
Game
Yeah,
of
let's
Thrones.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. That's what I do.
War and Peace. Like, fucking hell.
I put all
God.
their favorite books on a very high shelf and all my favorite books on a lower shelf. So when they're looking for a book to read in the evening, they can only reach the books that you're happy to read them.
Nice.
Boom.
I'd like to see a picture of your favorite bookshelf for reading with your kids. What is it?
Oh,
It's
no,
what it-
I mean, it's still just kids' books, but it's just that some of them are garbo and some of them are actually quite
Yeah.
good. So, I mean,
Oh, I
they've got
see.
books that are just awful, like the story.
But kids don't have any taste, is that what
No,
you're saying?
and they just like one picture. Like, this is the way kids will be. You'll have a shit book, but there's one picture in the book that they really like. So they'll read the whole book to get to that one page. And then when you get to their little hand will appear on the book like, wait, just let me check this picture out again. Love that picture. That is something else. They got that castle is something else. Whew. All right, carry on.
It's crazy, isn't it? Like my son did this too. We had this book. It was just like a baby book, and it had different pictures of things like that you would associate with going to bed. Right? It was like one of those like typical baby books where it's like, let's get ready for bed, and then on one page it's like, let's brush our teeth, and then on the second page it's like, let's put our PJs on and stuff, and then there's this one page where it's like, let's get our teddy bear ready. And even when he was like 6 months old, he'd see this page with the teddy bear on it, and he'd just crack up laughing and like get all like happy, but like no other page in the book. So like it was really funny. So like every night we would just read him this book, and he would laugh at the same page every time. And my daughter just started doing that too. It's the weirdest thing.
Wow.
Like it's a completely different book, completely different like theme and pictures and stuff. But there's one picture in the book where she's just like, she just like goes crazy. She just loves it. It's really weird.
They are strange.
But it carries through when they get older as well. And then it turns into like a fascination with pornography instead.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
you
not
gotta
sure
be
what
careful.
age that kicks in.
It's like later
I'm
on.
not sure you've
but
reached that yet with the 4-year-old.
No.
But that's why this is why they send kids off to camp. Certainly I was sent off to camps and things in the summer holidays, you know, for weeks and weeks and weeks.
I was not briefed on this thing about, like, I didn't think I could send my kids away on a camp. Now I'm like, whoa, shit, we can send our kids away on a camp next summer.
Do it. Like, that's what last...
I'm tempted.
Here's what I do at half term. There's like a half term club near us. The kids go in there from 9 till 6 every day.
What the fuck?
The whole 2 weeks. I'm like, get them out of the house. So they go there, they're like swimming, they're doing crafty stuff, they're doing...
my God.
And then after 2 days, they're like, I love it here, there's always something to do. And I'm like, yes. So that's it.
I remember my dad and my mum used to drop me off at the Brentwood Leisure Centre. Okay?
Wow.
And they would have these sort of summer activity days. You know, you'd go and you pay your £2.50 or whatever, and I'd just be left there for the whole day. And I got to know Brentwood Leisure Centre so well. You know, I played squash in the morning, and then we did some like, you know, crappy hockey in the afternoon, and then we played played outside, or you did stuff. They had activities for you.
Yeah.
And man, I remember.
Wait, did you go every summer?
I went. I must have been from. I can't remember what age, but I guess from sort of 6 through 11 or whatever. Every summer, yeah, I went to these activity camps and stuff every day.
Man, my parents were weird. Like they were never consistent. Like I went to a summer camp 1 year and never again.
Same.
And it wasn't because I didn't like it or whatever. They just like, I guess they just thought that it didn't work or was too expensive or something.
It was the same. I only did summer camp once.
So I went to this summer camp called Camp Abernathy, okay?
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is a true story. Oh.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Camp Abernathy, what a name as well.
Camp Abernathy.
I bet they had a song as well.
It was out in the sticks. So I was in the suburbs. I grew up in the suburbs.
Did you have Sips? Did you have to do portage to get there?
No, there was no portage involved. No, it was okay. So out in this sort of like remote little town or village, this area called Cumberland. Okay, it was probably like 20 minutes on the bus, like on a big yellow school bus. They'd pick you up at your house like early in the morning and drive you out to this place, and it was at like this Cumberland Community Center, which was also a hockey rink. Okay, it was a huge hockey rink there too, but it was during the summer, so there was no ice or anything. It was all concrete, so you could play floor hockey, and we played floor hockey a bunch. It was like an all day thing. But the things that I remember the most about it were that the tap water there stunk of eggs. Like it was disgusting.
Yeah,
it was so fucking weird.
Okay,
and there were wasps everywhere. You had to eat outside. For whatever reason, I can't remember why. We had to eat outside these picnic tables and literally were swarmed by wasps like the whole time, and it was awful. And then, so you went there every day and you do shit like arts and crafts, or sometimes you play hockey. You know, sometimes there was like hikes through the woods because it's like, you know, this remote area or whatever. And then at the end of it all, for the last big whiz bang or whatever, you went camping overnight with everybody, like from the thing.
Yeah.
So it was like, you know, it was a big mix of people, like kids and stuff, all on their summer vacation, whatever. And you go camping in this huge field. It was like Glastonbury, sort of. Like it was just like this big empty field. And you went like on a haunted ghost walk and then back to your tent, and then you went to sleep.
Yeah.
And it was just so shit. God, I would never want my kids to have to go to that. Like it was just terrible. I can appreciate that it was cool to like have your kids, you know, like go to this place and maybe do this fun stuff or whatever. Maybe I found it fun when I was young or whatever, but man, it was
I think,
just bad.
I mean, the thing is with any camp or sending your kids to something, is that I'm sure there'll be people watching this and saying, it's cruel, how can you send your kids away? You should value every second. And But the thing is, they get super bored.
I know, but like
easily.
the people that
they say, I want to do this today, and they do it for 5 seconds, then they get bored of it and they want to do something else. And like, if I pay someone else to deal with that, they're trained professionals in entertaining children.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And for some reason, they fucking enjoy it. So I'm like, great, have my kids, you find shit for them to do, and they'll be like, hey, let's go in the pool. And the kids go, yay! And then after an hour of that, they go, I'm bored of the pool. They go, okay, kids, let's play with the giant parachute. Yay! I don't have access to all that shit.
I know, like I think like people, especially people that don't have kids, they're very idealistic, aren't they? When it comes to kids, they have like, they say that's cruel and stuff. But the fact of the matter is that kids are such fucking hard work and so intense that you do actually need a break from time to time. And like,
it's true.
You're not. It's. I think it's more cruel to your kid for you to be completely burnt out and worn out all the time than just to send them away for like 2 weeks to have fun. You know what I mean? Like, you're not actually providing them with any means of having fun or whatever if literally you're miserable because you haven't had a break from kids for like a year or
tough.
whatever.
It's tough.
It is super tough. Yeah, it's super tough. But, like people that say that will say that and they'll be like, oh, it's cruel and stuff. And then they'll just go like fucking watch movies until they're blue in the face and do something that doesn't involve kids, and that's good for them.
I would never send my kids to boarding school. I do think that is a bridge too far. Like, I still want to see them.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be with them for 6 weeks, day in, day out, having to think of something to do every single day.
Yeah.
And you know what the other thing is? When you're with them and you can't think of shit to do, and you're just like sitting there watching Star Trek, and they're like, "Whoa, I don't want to watch Star Trek." I'm like, please, just this is a classic episode. Sit down and watch this. And 5 minutes in, they're bored out of their minds. I mean, I feel guilty after like 10 minutes of me not being able to entertain my children. I think, man, their brains are decaying in their heads, or they're going to grow up thinking Beverly Crusher is like like they're going to grow up obsessed with Star Trek. Yeah, they're going to like
totally wrong.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to think, well, Deanna Troi is, she's just a con artist. That's what we're going to grow up thinking, because they don't understand what Deanna Troi does.
Yeah,
it's tricky. Sorry,
doesn't understand. They don't understand the impact Deanna Troi had on a young man.
Who was it? Someone said to me that if you watch the show with in mind the idea that Deanna Troi has tricked her way on board and actually doesn't do anything and is just like has figured out how to con the captain, that it improves the show endlessly. Oddly enough, Sci-Fi is re-showing the entire series from start to finish, and I've been doing that, and it's ridiculous a number of times.
Deanna Troi was just meant to be sort of like well, she was like a doctor, right? She was meant to be sort of like...
No, that's Beverly Crusher.
Like the feel-good. I know, but she was like a psychologist or something,
but
right?
You know
Deanna
what?
Troi,
she's
like she was
not
meant
funny,
to be like...
But she's not funny, and all she says is the most obvious fucking thing possible every time. Every time. I watched this episode, I think it was called God, what the hell was it called? It's like a time slip episode. So it starts with them playing cards, like Beverly, Worf, and Data, and Riker. And they're playing poker, and they... gradually over the course of the episode, they start to have this strong sense of deja vu to the point where they know what card is coming next, and they realize.
Oh, is that the one where the Enterprise blows up
ship.
And then
all hands abandon ship.
And as soon as it blows up, it restarts and they're back.
Poker.
It's like a Groundhog Day or something.
It's like that, and it was a really, really, really good episode. This is Deanna Troi's. This is what she does in every episode. When the enemy ship, right? So they're at this weird thing. And it's not an enemy ship. The ship comes out of the void and starts heading towards them. Just before that happens, when everything's getting really tense, everyone's like, whoa, what's going to happen? She says to the captain, we should get out of here. We need to leave now. I'm like, yeah, no shit, we need to leave now. I'd say to her, get the fuck off the bridge. If you're not going to do something useful, get out. Like, she's useless. And the number of times they bump into an alien and they look like, Captain Picard, no, we haven't seen the people you're looking for. And she leans over and she's like, I sense that he's lying. Deanna, a child could sense that he's lying. What is your job on this vessel?
Will you stop?
Beam her out, Worf. Beam her into deep space and fucking leave her there. Useless. She's a con artist.
Deanna's only job, the only thing she needs to worry about is looking great. And you know what? She does it effortlessly. She just turns up.
You said effortlessly.
I struggled a bit because actually
she does it effortlessly.
I can feel the juices flowing. I'm thinking about Deanna. I'm thinking about her Starfleet uniform, and I'm just The juices are flowing.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't even pronounce words
beautiful.
anymore.
Marina Sirtis.
I'm feeling lightheaded, you know? Like, that's it. It doesn't matter what she says. Nobody's even listening. They're just staring at her boobs.
Damn, now I'm just thinking about her boobs. It's the shelf of uniform
They're
that exists
so
between
well-shaped.
Like, but
Yeah.
Honestly.
where the boobs are, then the uniform is like a shelf between
Oh,
them, like
and-
a
and
bridge.
Her uniform is unique because it's kind of like velvety. Did
Oh.
you notice?
She'd
it's
be
like
soft to the
different
touch.
color.
Soft
it's like
and
a
warm.
catsuit almost. Oh my god, yeah. I bet you
Right.
she smells amazing.
Oh.
Well, two things, right? If you think Deanna Troy's boobs are a big deal, then 7 of 9 is obviously next level stuff.
It's too
That was
masculine.
Unbelievable.
I'm thinking of the episode now where Deanna and Beverly Crusher are working out in their lycra in front of a big mirror. They're doing like aerobics
Don't.
exercises
Don't.
whilst the conversation goes
That
on.
is a hell
I'm
of an
thinking
episode.
the actresses must have said to the director, "Come on, dude! Like, just leave this to the slash fanfic writing nerds out there on the early internet. Do we really have to do this?" He's like, "Yeah,
It'd be
yeah."
interesting to see like a history of like the ratings of that show though, because like who knows? Maybe they actually did that on purpose. There's like, yeah, we need a bit of a boost. It's the,
Yeah, maybe.
It's the Christmas
Ladies-
period. We want
ladies,
more
I
people.
need a favor. The show's tanking.
We're gonna have to do an exercise scene, ladies.
We're gonna have to
We
go
got lycra.
big titties. Titties, I want every episode. Titties, titties, titties.
Yeah, I know. Like a lot of people are like, oh, you know, Princess Leia and her metal bikini. That was my first crush. For me, I was like, yeah, whatever. You know, Princess Leia in metal bikini. That's pretty cool. But man, Deanna Troi
Yep.
and close second Beverly Crusher every time for
Yeah.
me.
Wow.
I don't know why. It was
really?
like
She's like a
Yeah.
total
Erica
MILF.
Eleniak on Baywatch. That was my first poster girl. Like I actually had a poster
Right.
of her that I got
Yeah.
in a magazine, and I was like, "Good God, this woman is perfect." Her bosoms maybe even topped Deanna Troy's, and I'm not even kidding. And I look at pictures of Erica Eleniak now,
Man.
and it's like when you look at the things that you wore in the 80s. Obviously, this doesn't necessarily apply to you guys. I look at the clothes I used to wear when I was a little kid, and I think, "Holy shit, that is so weird." And now I look at Erica Eleniak, who was on Baywatch, the same way. I'm like, God damn, she's so weird looking.
See, I'm a bit younger than you, and for me, we went through this previously. This on one of the streams recently. I was talking about this with Tom, and mine was Willow from Buffy.
Right.
So
Yeah, I was-
Alison
I
Hannigan.
was a
little
bit too
older.
old for Buffy.
Yeah,
I didn't really like
I
Buffy.
remember Alicia Silverstone from Clueless.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh man, she was fucking like I don't know what she looks like now. And Christina Applegate on Married with Children. I think actually Christina Applegate was like what was like my first.
Oh,
I
man.
think
watching
in
Married
order
with
to
Children.
cool this conversation down,
I know it's getting red
I'm
hot.
going to take a cold
Holy
shower,
shit.
gentlemen.
I gotta take a break for about 20
Give me
minutes.
20 minutes, guys. Muting the microphone.
I just forgot I left the oven on.
the worst thing about Deanna Troy is her mother.
Oh, God.
Luxana. Any
my
episode
God.
that she is in is an
That's a
absolute
fast
disaster.
forward. I'm
It's
recording them. Yeah.
retracting into my body.
I think the thing about her was the actress who played her was Gene Roddenberry's wife.
Really?
And
That's
also, I think she does all the voices for the computers in all the Star Treks.
Oh,
So
God.
all the computers are done by that.
Does
same...
she do the door swish sounds too? Because that's totally that is totally somebody just going.
She does all of
Yeah.
it.
She does the phasers.
She does.
Pew! 5 phasers.
Man, your pew game is A+ today, Pyrian. That was some good pew.
Oh, really? You like that
Yeah,
pew
yeah.
noises?
You should be a VFX guy.
You should.
Someone isolate that.
Oh fuck. Yeah, no, Alicia Silverstone, and then who? Yeah, Christina Applegate. She was pretty good too.
Jennifer Connelly in Labyrinth.
Oh, yeah.
I was at that age. At that point, she was slightly older than me. She was like to me at that point that my friend's older sister, who I had a crush on. That was the kind of vibe that there was. Like she
Oh,
was this
man.
unobtainable, beautiful, very slightly older girl.
Remember Cindy Crawford? Like when she was like,
Oh, my God.
you, like first hit the scene. Holy fuck!
Wow, wow, that video.
Oh my
Where
God.
she was on the beach.
Oh yeah, who is that? Was that like Chris
Isaac.
Chris Isaac? That's right. I never wanted somebody like you with you.
And she's on the beach, and I'm just like, all right, this is just. I'm just gonna loop this for the rest of my life.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That's a great song.
It's a pretty good song. Cindy Crawford was fucking great though.
Oh.
Holy shit. You know what else is amazing too? Like Kate Moss, like in her heyday. But like Kate Moss is still like pretty good looking.
Oh, she looks great, yeah. But
And,
she's
like-
too skinny. She looks like an addict.
She
of some
she is a
kind.
little bit, yeah. But like if you put her up with like a younger model now, she still like holds her own, which is impressive actually. Because she's
holds her own what?
Mid 40s now, like.
I think she's 42 or something. Let's Google it.
You Google that.
42. How did you know that, P-Flax?
I may be the president and secretary of the Kate Moss fan club.
Well, she's from London, and P-Flax is from London.
Yeah, we're both from London. We know each other.
Yeah, you guys probably bump into each other all the time.
Oh, you're from London? Do you know Kate Moss? Yeah, I do. Yeah, she's great.
You live in England? Do you know Simon Cowell? You know Piers Morgan?
He lives in America.
Yeah, those are like the two breakaway English guys, or well, they were now.
I
guess James Corden is the new one, isn't he?
Fucking asshole he is.
Have you ever seen the Carpool Karaoke? It's pretty funny.
It's like, I just don't get it.
The thing is, you don't want it to be funny. You're not willing to accept him into your life.
He's not funny.
I find it funny though. I laugh a little bit when I watch it.
I don't like James Corden on principle though, and therefore I find it very difficult to watch his stuff, even though I appreciate that it is probably funny.
I don't mind him.
If someone you don't like tells you a joke, it's hard to find it funny. Laughing at someone's joke is a personal thing.
Yeah, I suppose.
Like you're opening up your legs and you're letting them in to your body. I mean, sorry, I'm just thinking about
Deanna again.
Helena Christensen and Deanna. So, I mean, you're opening yourself up to them in a way.
Yeah. Wow.
Jesus
Holy
Christ.
Shit. Let's not go back down that road.
It's still early, isn't it? It's only lunchtime. It's lunchtime. You're allowed to talk like this.
It's too early to feel this sexy, though. Like,
it is.
That's usually like late afternoon.
To be fair, I wake up feeling sexy, spend the rest of the day in the same state.
Yeah, me too. When I wake up and I've got mustard stains all over my wife beater shirt.
Do you feel sexy when you wake up?
I do. I wake up thinking that I must have, in the movies when they have you have the couple the night before doing all the sexy stuff, and then it cuts to the next morning and they wake up and they're always in some cool pose. They're not just like jaw slack, drool everywhere, sort of hair all messed up, and there's like still got one sock on and stuff. In the movies, they always wake up with that cool. The sheets are just so, and the morning breezes, and perhaps there's a bowl of flowers or a vase or whatever on the side of the bed, and the flowers just moving in the breeze, and then one of them rolls over and says,
"You can almost smell the room. It's so picturesque." Right. Yeah.
So I wake up every morning and I go to Miss O, go, "Oh, I love," and she goes, "Oh, you stink," because it's like, haven't had a shower yet. She's like, "Oh, your breath is awful," blah, blah, blah. And then kids jump into bed and they say,
"Oh my God."
No, and then she's like, "Get away from me."
That's one thing I don't suffer from is bad breath in the morning.
It's only in the morning.
I have very neutral breath at all times.
No, I'm not a smelly person, don't have bad breath, but for some reason, first thing in the morning, but my kids say it too. "Daddy, your breath smells." I'm like, Jesus, give me a sec, love. I haven't brushed my teeth yet.
Yeah. One thing I will say about me though is that I get really, really sweaty balls, and those probably stink if you were to smell them.
Holy shit, Sips. Fucking TMI, Fred. Honestly, like, the way I imagine P-Flax waking up right now, because you were late to the recording of this podcast, right, was that you're obviously...
I was hungover,
you're kind of semi-hungover.
You're
not only hungover, but I imagine you waking up, like, on the sofa, okay?
No.
Like, it's kind of a dirty, sort of green sofa with, like, a load of beer bottles on the table.
I'm not living
you've got,
in an
one
outback.
hand dangling out from under, like, a dirty blanket.
You just got, like, a mountain of empty pizza boxes around your bed.
Yeah. And there's, like, a slice of pizza, like, on your face.
I'm not Jim Belushi. What the
You wake up, you peel it off your face, you look at it and you go, "Oh, that's still good, I'll eat it." Then you have a little snack of it. And then you slovenly get up off the sofa, do a line of Coke off the table.
Oh my God. Jeez,
then, go into the fridge, open it up, pull out another a bottle of beer, open it with like your teeth.
Yeah.
And just,
That's who I would be.
I don't even need alcohol and drugs to be a train wreck in the morning. Like, it just comes so naturally to me.
Yeah, I'm right there.
I'm like a fucking disaster area in the morning. At least my breath doesn't stink, but holy shit. And the worst thing is, now that I work in the garage, I don't really do much about it. I kind of roll out of bed, eat some Alpen, and then just come out here, stinking it up big time.
Yeah.
My whole routine has changed. I shower around dinner time now instead of first thing in the morning and stuff.
Dinner time shower.
Because who fucking cares? I don't even go out.
See, I was slightly worried that this would be what happens to you, because previously you obviously had the office at the quite nice place in Liberation Square in Jersey.
Yeah, that's right.
St. Helier. And
postal code JE243 3J.
Yeah, well, you can say that because you're not
address,
there anymore.
No, that's true. I'm not there anymore. Yeah.
So you used to have did you walk in? It's like about a half an hour walk, isn't it? 20
Yeah, it's
minutes,
like 20, 25 minute walk.
Quite a pleasant walk along the front. You walk along the sea.
Yeah, if it's not like raining
air.
like crazy, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and so you walked in. You went to. It was quite a professional office that you worked in. You worked at these sort of, but also you worked right at the end of quite a few winding corridors. So you had to walk past a lot of professional people.
That's right. Yeah, and all of my neighbors eventually moved away from me because I was too loud.
Yeah. So you put your suit on, you get your briefcase, you walk into work. You're fixing your tie.
I didn't have a suit and a briefcase.
You go upstairs, you say hi Janine, hi Bill, hi Mike, hi Chris. Like all the people, they all they're holding their cups of tea and they pass you in the corridor and you drink.
Hey Slugger.
Yeah.
Hey. Good morning,
great to
champ.
see you.
Yeah.
Another hit video last night, I see. Oh, great job. And then then you nod at them, you smile, you sit down at your desk and you start grinding away, tapping away. And then at 5 o'clock, ding, ding, ding. Oh, time to go home. You stride out. Bye, Janine.
Yabba-dabba-doo. Then I slide down a slide onto the bus.
Back off along, striding happily home. Back in. Hey, honey, I'm home.
Yeah.
Your dinner's ready. Oh, and then the kid comes along. Hey, Daddy, look, I drew a picture of you. And it's like, that's how your life was. Now, you wake up on the sofa. Now
the Spanish Flea just plays constantly in the background while I just mosey about my lazy ass day doing shit like all out of order, and nobody likes me anymore because I'm lazy and a piece of shit. I just sit in my garage all day being angry at WoW recently.
Wow.
And now it's really depressing.
I miss working in an office in a funny way. When you get to know
sometimes.
people in there. Like when I come down to visit you guys, I'm always like, this is great. Like there's just other people to talk to and work with all around, and they're all like-minded, and you're all.
Oh, I know, but the
great.
thing is, I'm always like that at first, and then if I'm there for a couple of days, I'm like, wow, this would really do my head in after a while.
Why?
Like it would really grind me down. I don't know. Like it's just being around too many people all the time. Like it's just too much.
You're an isolationist. You're like a hermit.
It's not even that. I think it's just like. Well, maybe I am actually. Yeah, maybe I'm just an old hermit.
That's fine. You're welcome.
You can take the hermit out of Canada, but you can't take the hermit out of the hermit. He's a hermit, all right.
Can't take Kermit out of the puppet.
No, I don't know. I've worked in offices before, and there's definitely a honeymoon period with offices. Okay, like you start in an office and you're like, this is great. Everybody's good. Everybody's really competent at their jobs and stuff, and nice, and everything works well. And then you're there for a couple of months, and you start noticing the cracks. Things start to not add up. You're like, wow, this person is actually a bit of a jabroni. This stuff doesn't actually work as well as it first seemed to. It's a bit of a mess, there's a lot of politics. There's a lot of obstructive assholes preventing me from just doing my job and stuff. And it becomes like that. I'm not saying that every office is like that, but certainly the offices I've worked in have been like that.
Yeah. The problem I have is people get sick of me after a couple of days because I never shut up. And I'm in the office, I'm always talking, I'm distracting people. I appear to be having...
You're like the office clown.
But I appear to be having far too much fun. So I'm the guy, if I'm in the office, I'm doing my job, but I'm also having fun and having a laugh and talking to people while I'm doing it.
And you're not supposed to do that.
No, you're meant to look like I never understood
like it's a miserable
busy.
Grind.
Yeah, you're meant to be going,
that's right.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, God.
Tapping away. Yeah.
And I'm not like that. I'm like, work done. Hey, guys. Did you watch so-and-so last night? How about that sports team in that game of sports? That kind of thing. Yeah. And the boss will have their glass office with a little blind, and I'll just see them peeking through the blind, looking at me thinking, he's having too much fun. He's obviously doing fuck all. He should be miserable. That's the whole purpose of employment.
Yeah, we don't want chatters here. We want fucking seat warmers here.
Exactly.
That's what we want. We don't want them talking to each other. We got to make it look like we got a lot of people under us doing really important shit.
That is definitely the psychology of the workplace. And it's a real shame. And it's something you have to actively fight against in your life. I think you
can't, though, because they'll just fire you. Yeah, because they don't want somebody who's going to speak up. They just want,
the last 2 jobs I've had, I got let go.
Well,
because they were like, you look like you're not doing much. I was like, well, you're wrong.
Well, that's an art form, though. It's an art form to appear.
You should. These toilets don't clean themselves, guys.
It's a little bit like Scotty in Star Trek, right? Where Scotty comes back for an episode of TNG.
Yeah.
And he says...
He was caught in the
never tell the
captain
loop. Exactly how long it's going to take.
You don't say 2 hours, laddie. You say 8. And when he says get it done sooner, you get it done in 2.
I think Scotty did more work than Geordie did, though.
What? Are you mad?
Geordie was a fucking slacker. Like, he just sat down there and polished his hairband visor thing.
How dare you?
He didn't do shit.
He does
And then he spent the rest of the time just thinking about how he was going to, like, creep on girls in the holodeck.
You're thinking about Riker.
That is one of the biggest things I actually think that is not addressed at all in Star Trek, because most of the TNG was done before the internet, right? And the amount of times people have private holodeck programs with literally sex fantasies featuring other members of the cast, and no one thinks that's weird.
It's really weird.
It's
like
so common.
And
though.
Even weirder when somebody bursts into the holodeck and they find out that you're actually having sex with virtual them. And it's like, I didn't authorize that.
Yeah, that would be fucking weird.
I never got the permission form for that one. You know, Riker's just in there getting it on big time with like Picard.
Riker's got a simulation where all the women on the ship have to fuck him on the holodeck. Like, he's fucking them all and they're all going, oh, Riker, you're the best. And Captain Picard would be like, get on the bridge to Riker, where are you? Just fucking every single person on the ship, Captain, in the virtual world.
And meanwhile, Picard's in there riding a pony around a fucking Welsh
reading a
field.
Book. He'd be reading a book in the holodeck. I've got a simulation where I sit calmly in a room and read a book. And Riker's like having a fucking cocaine and hookers party on the holodeck.
Yeah. He's like that guy from Die Hard, you know, the first Die Hard, the beard. Remember that guy?
Alice. Yeah. Hans, Booby, I'm your white knight. Yeah, sorry. I know that film a bit too well.
It's like
a classic.
It's like the ultimate Christmas movie, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it.
Always on around Christmas. Yeah.
So what else have we been doing? I went to Gamescom in Germany.
Gamescom? Is that James Cordener's own convention?
Yes. We all have to worship and kiss pictures of him. Oh,
nice.
It was magnificent. It was a nice convention.
Oh, good.
I had a good time. There was a couple of good stories out there.
You didn't really actually do much at Gamescom, though, didn't you? You went out into Cologne and went to art galleries and stuff.
Yeah, day one we went. Me and Duncan and Shin went. We had to do this, but we didn't have to. We wanted to do this thing to see the new South Park game,
right?
The Fractured But Whole.
And, what? Excuse me?
Nice.
The Fractured But Whole. Yeah.
What's that?
It's a South Park game.
Very much like the original South Park game, except for they developed this Oculus Rift thing to go over your nose called the Nosulus Rift, where basically when you fart in the game, it farts in your face. And it's basically an elaborate troll come up that it's been invented by Trey and Matt and I guess the marketing people to get a load of journalists and just fart in their face. And so, man, it was pretty funny though. So we went there, and before we went there, I was Duncan and Shin. You know that thing where you're out with your friends and you're like, "Oh, where shall we eat?" And they're like, "I don't know. Where do you want to eat?" It's like, "I don't know. Where do you want to eat?" They were doing that. So I found a place on TripAdvisor that did really good herring. And when I suggested it to them as a joke, they said, "Oh, that sounds fine." And I was like, "Oh my god, okay, great. Let's get them to eat herring." So I kind of wanted to do it as a troll, really. And so we went there, sat down, and they ordered like the most stinky herring I've ever imagined. And I felt so bad because I was the last to order.
Does herring smell like kipper?
Yeah, it's a lot like it's a strong tasting bony fish.
God damn.
And anyway, the way it was ordered was that Duncan and Shin have got these little moustachy beard things, and they were just going to get herring all over them. Oh man! So anyway, they hated me after that. We went away from that. Just kind of Duncan was like he couldn't get the smell of herring out of his like fingers and stuff and out of his beard. And then we went to the South Park thing where they strap the thing to your face and fart on your face. But the way it works is it sprays this horrible farty liquid onto your face.
Ugh.
And honestly, like it would not leave. The smell would not leave for I'd say about 36 hours.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It was horrific.
So you guys just smelled like farts the whole time you're at Gamescom.
Some people were like retching and being sick. We were just when we had the combination of fishy herringy smell plus
Oh my god.
fart smell. We didn't smell like farts. We kind of could smell farts
All
though,
the time.
for about over a day afterwards.
Ugh.
It was absolutely foul. And the worst thing that was, after all that, they lost the video. So they gave us a USB drive with our video on it, but it was empty.
Oh my god.
Fuck.
I don't even know if there's going to be a video of that.
Oh my god.
I recorded it on my phone, so that's really
High
really
quality
good,
shit.
I guess. Yeah, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I might put it out somewhere if I can tidy it up. But yeah, that was. Do you know what? It was a day to remember. Is all I'm saying.
God.
But holy fucking shit! Like I do not recommend ever doing that again.
Ugh.
Or at all.
Nice.
And the other 2 days, I
Do
didn't
not
really
do
go
the
to.
fart thing.
I didn't actually go to Gamescom. So we went to Gamescom for a day, walked around, looked at all the games. Me and Duncan ended up playing physical card games more though, because there's a Gwent, Witcher.
Oh,
Making,
yeah, the Witcher thing. Yeah.
making Gwent as a digital collectible card game. And so we played the physical version of that because they were so booked up. When me and Duncan went over there, they were like, "Yeah, we can't fit you on until 7." So me and Duncan were like, "Oh, hang on, we'll just crack open one of your free Polish beers and play the physical version." Because they had this massive wooden Gwent table there that they've been touring around the world with really nice sets of cards. So we played a few games of that, had a beer, and then we went and played some other games, physical card games. It was really weird, actually. So we didn't play a single video game at Gamescom.
It turns out
And
you
then
don't like video games much. So
I
that's
loved it. I was thinking, do you know, we should maybe go to the board game convention they have every year because they have one
Wow.
in Germany called, I think it's called Spiegel or something. Because you see,
Spiegel Convention.
yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
You see it on the front of these board games that you buy. You know, it's like Spiegel winner
Yeah.
or something like that.
They love a
2016 or
board
whatever.
game in Germany.
Man, yeah, they
absolutely
made
love a
Germany
board game.
made the Settlers of Catan.
They
didn't
did, and Carcassonne and a ton of other
Still
games.
a national pastime for them. To
Well, this
play
is
that
something I
game.
really want to do. I really want to make a board games channel or something like that. And I feel like I want to play more sort of live action because we do games night, which is great.
Yeah, but those are very simple games, aren't
They're
they?
very simple, but we're starting to do longer form ones that are, you know, maybe like longer, like 3/4 an hour. And I feel like if we're going to do those videos, we can't put them all on the
Yeah,
main
play
channel.
longer
It's better
games.
to put the first 15 minutes on the main channel. Then if people like it, they can go and watch another hour of it or maybe a second game of it elsewhere
Yeah.
rather than, you know, having hours and hours of stuff on the main channel that doesn't really feel very good. So, and also, I'd like to do sort of strange stuff. Like, I think if we went to Spiegel, I'm not even sure what it's called, Spielen, something like that.
I think Spiegel means talk.
I don't
doesn't it?
even. Spielen is game.
Steven Spiegelberg.
Spielen.
Spiegel is the newspaper.
Oh, Der Spiegel. Oh, yeah, it is. I can't remember what it's called. It's called something like that. Anyway, it's in
Right.
Germany.
Do you know what
see
the
if we can
Spiegel
go.
means? The mirror. So Spiegel is a mirror.
Oh, right. It is German newspaper, so it's not. It's definitely not that. Anyway,
I'm talking to the man in the Spiegel.
I'm excited to do that. So I've been thinking about that. Thank you, Sid.
No problem.
I just thought I'd fill
No
you all
problem.
in quickly with that, just in case you had anything to say about it. But linking to that, I did actually play quite a lot of this game on Steam this week called Duelist.
Oh yeah, I saw Kibler playing that. He did a couple of sponsored streams of it, but he was saying that it's actually very good and he liked it.
It's very
it's a bit Hearthstone-y, isn't it?
It's
free to
very
play too,
Hearthstone
right?
the model. I mean,
Yeah.
it feels so Hearthstone. You know, you start off, you get 1 mana per turn. You spend them on creatures that have 3/4. When they hit each other, their lives go down. You have buffs and burn spells and all this stuff.
And so do you rate it? Is it good?
I've played it a little bit. I don't think I can. I don't think I can get into it too much. But I like the idea. I like the pixel art. I like the feel of it. And so who knows? Maybe I'll
Because
come
there's
back to you next week.
there's
and
the
I'll
Elder
play the functional art.
Scrolls.
That's
card
right.
game
Yes,
as well. That's meant
an
to be
interesting one. The Elder Scrolls. Because that's a little bit like Hearthstone, but it's on two sides.
That's right. There's
So
like
you have-
lanes in it, right?
Yeah, there's a left and a right side of it, and obviously if you play a taunt minion in one lane, you won't be able to taunt from the other lane. Do you see?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an
I
interesting
don't
mechanic.
think that game will be popular in Germany, or it shouldn't be anyway. I
What
think.
Elder Scrolls?
No, the Duelist.
Duelist. Oh, maybe.
But it
not.
sounds
I don't
like
know.
it sounds like Jew list when you say it. Like
Oh,
Oh,
I
God.
see.
so I
Gosh,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? It's a little close to home.
Duelist,
Let's play
yes.
the Jew list.
Not
Oh my
again,
God.
Fitz.
No, we spoke of this.
Oh, fuck me.
Sorry,
Yeah,
so
no, I've heard of it. It looks pretty cool, actually. I might check it out.
I feel like when it comes to all of these card games, Gwent, The Elder Scrolls 1, Duelist, all of these games, and also to some extent other games that Blizzard have done extremely well, when they're coming into a world where Hearthstone exists, I feel like they're going to really struggle to ever compete. It feels like people are thinking, holy crap, look how much Hearthstone is making. Look how many people it's got in.
Yeah.
Look how big it is. Let's make one.
They think that there's a big market for it, but
I feel like it's never going to be that. World of Warcraft still exists and still does really, really well with a subscription model, and it's the only one. It's got microtransactions. Honestly, microtransactions. Have you seen because the new Deus Ex come out?
Yeah, I heard
tweeted about it the other day. Oh, by the way, speaking of tweeters, I got my verification tick.
Oh, nice.
I'm very happy about
congrats.
that.
Holy shit, man. Congrats.
And now when you tweet, people take
Do you reckon
people
someone
take
at
note.
TI watched the...
I'm serious, yeah. Someone at Twitter watched the International.
And verified you.
Yeah.
That's probably what happens.
I was very happy.
Cool.
But I was tweeting about that the other day, the whole fucking...
Yeah, Deus Ex.
The Deus Ex single player. Like, someone was like, if you don't like it, just don't buy it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, but that sets a really shitty precedent of, hey, put this in the game, and then more companies put it in the game, and then you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
You got to
look at
stamp
Battlefield
on this
1. The Battlefield 1 Ultimate Pass costs £109.
Wow.
That's like the game and like early access to maps. I mean, what? Early access to maps for fucking real?
Yeah.
Like, make a fucking game, put maps in it, and fucking release it. Like, what is this? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Why do we have to pay extra for maps and shit?
And
like,
what happens?
So dumb.
You can't find those maps. Like, if you think about that Star Wars game that came out, what was it called? Star Wars Battlefront or whatever.
Yeah.
That came out, and apart from the fact that it was a fun enough game, like, it was okay. It was a little fast paced.
Right.
They could have slowed it down. It was just a bit fucking let's run at the speed of light, but whatever. That came out, and then if you didn't have the extra maps, you couldn't play those extra maps. But the thing is, because so few people bought the more expensive package, if you had bought it, there was no fucker playing those maps anyway.
There's no games.
It was literally
That's
you could not
fucking
find a
stupid.
full server because nobody bought the extra thing. It was ridiculous.
They have to think of that shit when they come up with this stuff, though.
Honestly, these models, like pay models, are so kind of weird and confusing now, and I think it's partly just exploitative. They just charge whatever they can get away with, and since everyone's doing it, they're like, well, if everyone else is doing it, we have to do it too.
But
but they're looking at models that work and then making versions of that don't. Like, there's microtransactions in Dota, like there's microtransactions in WoW, and I think those models work well because they don't actually take away from the game. You get the full game. You're not paying for extra features in the game. You're just paying as a fan for cosmetic things that,
Like, I mean, it's a way of, and this was one of the things about WoW that I've always thought was interesting, is that people like to show off the shit they've got, and other people in the game have to look at that stuff. So if you've got a fancy cosmetic in Dota, especially like an unusual one, a rare one, when you're playing the game, everybody sees it and they're like, oh, wow, that's so cool. And you're like, yeah, it's my cool little thing here. What do you think? That element of it, people love that.
Yeah.
Like being able to show off something that they've got. It's like showing someone your comic collection or something.
Yeah.
So,
and it taps into this like, traditional, a lot of people who play card games like collected cards when they were younger and stuff like that, and they wanted all the hologram cards and stuff.
You want to have the cool collection.
It's fine. Like that is like a tangible thing that people enjoy and people are willing to spend money on. And as long as you have the game and all of its features, cool.
Yeah.
Who cares?
But
it's an optional thing.
In this Deus Ex thing, you're buying ammo and a gun. It's like consumable things.
Yeah.
So you buy them and that's that. You're buying shit in game.
Yeah.
It's just fucking lame, man. It's pretty
awful.
lame.
Yeah. I think like the season pass thing as well. I think there's ways of doing that where it makes sense. Like Fallout 4 when it came out, you could get the season pass, right? And they gave you a vague idea and of the DLC that was coming out. You know, it was like there's going to be 5 DLCs. They're going to come out every month for like the last 5 months of whatever 2016 or something like that. If you get the season pass now, you get them all. Like, you know, and altogether it works out slightly cheaper if you're just going to buy them all anyway.
And if you're a big Fallout fan, you know
exactly you're going to get it because you know
it.
you're going to want to play and get some more value out of the game, right? And then. You know, and that's a fair enough way of doing it. I think that's fine. But if you don't get the season pass, you just have the option of picking and choosing the DLC that you want to get, and they vary. You know, in Fallout 4, there's DLC that's heavy on story, like one of them. And then there's one coming out next week that, again, is like a new like area with story and factions and stuff. And it's, you know, you probably get a lot more value out of that.
Yeah.
You know, some of the season pass stuff where it's like, you could get exclusive access to a new map 2 weeks before anyone else and stuff. And it's like, really? Like, is that actually worth anything?
What's the point? Like, especially,
anybody fucking care?
Because if they don't have it, how the fuck are you going to get a game? Like, that's the thing. It'll be an empty server.
It's really dumb. Like, it just seems so fucking half-baked. Like, I don't know.
I hate it.
I don't agree with that at all.
To change the topic, Kate Middleton, yay or nay?
I'm going to firmly say yay.
She just popped up on my Twitter feed. She's got the best hair. Seriously.
She's got sweet hair. Man, she gave birth and she walked out 5 minutes later and her hair was like fucking
fabulous.
Top notch.
Amazing.
How?
Good breeding sips.
It
gets
fucking sweaty in there. And like there's a lot of yelling and stuff too.
A lot of yelling.
That's going to frizz your hair up, but not her.
Amazing.
She's very regal.
She is.
Very royal.
Yeah.
She'll make a cracking queen. She really will.
Do you think William on the other end of things is a heartthrob for women?
No, I think he's just a good lad.
You think he's a good guy?
Yeah, and he's bold, so I respect him even more. He's doing it. He's doing it.
I don't think he would like to people. I don't think he would like to be called bald.
He's bold.
He's aggressively resisting baldness.
Doesn't matter. He's
losing the battle.
I don't know. Is he actually resisting it though? Like he seems to be embracing.
He's cut it real short. He's gone. He knows what's up. He's not trying to grow it out. He's not hiding it.
Yeah.
He's clearly bald on top. He's got a bit at the sides. Yeah. He's going for a Picard. Doesn't give a hoot. He's
going for the Picard. Yeah.
Good for him. Yeah.
Good for him.
Good luck to him.
Good luck.
Oh my goodness. So what else have you guys been doing? Been playing any games? What you've been doing?
I've been playing Fallout a lot. I started playing Hearthstone a lot again recently as well. Been enjoying it though. Not like playing it the way I used to. Just fucking around, doing
You've been
quests,
making your own decks.
Trying to build up my collection. You know, I want to get like all the legendaries so that I can make even wackier, fun decks to play around with. So yeah, I'm just enjoying life between ranks 20 and 15 right now. Just fucking around and having a good time. I play like 5 or 6 games a day. It's pretty nice. I don't like get too angry, except for like when there's like a tremendous amount of bullshit involved.
Yeah, I quite like doing the quests. I built up a shitload of coins and bought the expansion with just daily quests, and that felt good to do.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah,
well done.
Yeah.
I've been playing 2 games. Above all, I did play a bit of RimWorld yesterday, which was fun.
Oh, nice!
I love that game, right? But Dota 2, obviously, when the whole 2 weeks we were away, we didn't have access to computers to play. So I just had to watch other people play it for 2 weeks. So came back and immediately started playing. New Hero came out, Underworld came out, or Pit Lord. So he's out on the 20th. He came out 2 days ago.
Holy crap. Oh, wasn't he meant to come out like months ago?
No, they always save it for TI. It was like a big reveal.
Oh, right.
They had like a VR version of him on the stage. I think
it has been
awesome.
A very, very long delay since New Heroes
There's been a big brew up for him to come out. Because I remember when I was playing,
they used to be adding new heroes relatively regularly, and now it's been very, very slow. Well, when was the last hero added before?
Well, it would have been Techies.
So TI4, that would have been.
A whole year between new
TI4,
heroes.
Guys. TI4.
Techies was TI4?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. So it's been 2
years. Yeah. So it was like a big deal.
Crazy.
Everyone's expecting Pitlord at TI5. No, TI6. But TI6, they announced a new hero.
Wow.
Brand new hero.
Oh.
So you got Pitlord, and now there's this Monkey King that's coming out, and they had like this huge reveal. It was incredible, actually. There's like 17,000 people in the arena, and this hush descends, and the stage goes dark, and these guys run onto the stage dressed as like monkey tiger things, and they're like dancing around, and they're doing all kung fu with swords and everything. Everybody's thinking, well, this is nice, but it's in keeping with the theme they've had over the week of like drums and things. So we just thought it was like a dance thing.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, in the middle of the stage, this face starts to appear on the LED stage screen. It's like this weird face of a hero that you clearly don't recognize. And we realize collectively that there's a new hero, like a brand new hero in the game. and people were losing their fucking minds, like they're just screeching. And then all of a sudden they played this Source filmmaker video with him in it, showing off some of his powers and sort of, telling his story and everything. It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Nice.
And everybody was very excited. So he's coming out. I would give it a good few months. But apparently there's like a big new patch coming out called the Journey or the Path or something. He's going to be in that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of big. It's a big deal. A brand new hero in Dota. This is a big thing.
Well, I mean, after Techies, there were a couple more, weren't there? I mean, we had Oracle, Winter Wyvern,
Oracle and Winter Wyvern,
Arc
but they weren't like the big ones. Like everybody was waiting on Techies, and then you had Pit Lord, because those are like the big. I mean, Oracle and Winter Wyvern are not heroes to get excited about.
I think the big thing about this is that these heroes are all of the ones from the original Dota in now, right? So
we've shipped them all. That's it.
I mean,
Apart
previously, you've got to
Gambler,
understand that almost all of the mechanics in the game as well were repeatable in the old Dota. So, I mean, you've got to understand that Warcraft 3 was the engine that Dota was built on originally, and all of the abilities and all of the effects were, that's a 10-year-old, more than 10-year-old game.
Oh, God, yeah.
And
that came out in like 2001, 2000,
and so
I think?
a lot of other games that have used a newer engine, like even Heroes of New Earth and League of Legends, these are old games too now by any measure. I mean, even Dota 2 is came out in 2010 was the alpha.
Yeah.
We're talking about fairly old games here, but what I'm saying is that all the Dota 2 heroes have yet to use mechanics that the new engines would allow. So Monkey King is supposed to be a hero which will impact the game in a way that we hopefully haven't seen before. So new heroes from now should be providing innovative effects.
Yeah.
So I, for one, want to see a hero a little bit like Flux from Heroes of New Earth, which was a really fun
like a
hero
sieging
that pushed heroes back and forth, so you could switch between an attack, push heroes away, or pull them towards you, stuff like that. Like fun. He was a fun hero. So,
I've thought for a while that they could do new, like you said, new heroes, because they're not limited by the crappy sort of abilities of I say crappy, obviously, but I mean relatively speaking, they're not restricted anymore. They're not like, how do we make this work with the mod and the code, and we can't do this, we can't do that. And like you said, like a bunch of the mechanics in the game are literally leftovers from what they had to do as a workaround to get the mod to work, and we still have them. So I guess that they could do completely new heroes. They do all kinds of weird new stuff.
Yeah,
it would be good to see. It would be good to liven up the game a bit. It just feels like for me, Dota like sometimes stands still a bit too much and doesn't get enough additions. When they could be adding a lot more things, heroes to the game.
I hope they don't. I hope
the game was a lot fresher back in kind of a couple of years ago.
They add new items. It takes a while. The balance of the game is very fragile. And I think that it's very easy to tip it and ruin it, and they don't.
So
they shouldn't do that.
Who's the broken, overpowered hero of the day
now?
At
the moment, I think Mirana is right up there.
Yeah,
very slight nerf recently, but she got an Ags upgrade. That means that when you get Aghanim Scepter on her, her Q, the Starfall that makes the arrows go.
Yeah.
She gets that for free as a passive ability every 8 seconds.
What the fuck?
What you do is you buy a Blink Dagger, you blink in. Ethereal Blade someone, press Q, you get your Starstorm that you just cast, the passive Starstorm, plus the Ethereal Blade damage, and then you can Dagon on them if you want, and they just blow up. Like, insta-kill any fucking hero. It's kind of ridiculous.
That's crazy. That sounds broken.
Sounds fun, though.
It was stupid. And they've slightly changed it, but there are a few heroes that you see a lot. But it's the game at the moment, like everybody's agreed, this is the best it's been.
Well, because wasn't the actual like the roster of heroes used in TI, like wasn't it like 125 out of 140 heroes were used or something?
3 or 4 heroes that weren't used. That's it.
Yeah.
Out of all of the
that's crazy.
112? Yeah. Oh, geez, I can't even write it. It keeps changing.
That's pretty good.
It's amazing.
It's impressive, yeah. I haven't played Dota for months.
Well,
I'm kind of tempted to play it, but I don't want to.
The original Dota is still going and still patching. We're trying to patch in line, but I think currently the original Dota is at 6.83. Do you remember that patch, P-Flex?
6.83. Yeah, is that the Troll Sniper patch, 6.83?
Yeah, it is. So that's where the original Dota has been left, in that hell. Maybe that's the worst place for it as well, because it's just going to die
I
off
think
for good
that's
in
how
that
you
patch.
stop people playing Dota 1 and force them to play Dota 2, is leave it in the troll sniper patch for the next 10 years. Eventually they'll quit.
Yeah.
Man, oh man.
Not that anyone's still hanging around in Dota 1, really.
Oh, yeah. Some
Only for
people are. I think it's still
nostalgic
played in
purposes,
China
maybe.
quite a bit because
right.
the Source 2 engine
In
is kind
cyber
of.
cafes and
Source
stuff.
2 engine is quite PC intensive.
Right.
And probably in Russia as well. But yeah, Dota 1 will still run on pretty much any machine.
Right. Well, that actually is all we got time for in this podcast today, because I have to go prepare for Insomnia 58, which is happening tomorrow.
Oh, God.
Nice.
And we also started late due to Pufax's jet lag, but we will hopefully
It wasn't.
be back
No,
next.
it's a hangover, Lewis.
next
Don't
time.
dress it up. I was hungover.
It's a hangover. It's a combination
He was hung.
of
He was hung hard.
many problems. I'm around next week. Are you guys around?
Let me check my calendar. Hold on.
Legion's out next week, so I'm around for sure.
We'll talk about this afterwards.
All right.
We can't promise you podcasts every week. That's all. All right. Love you all. Thanks.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Mwah, mwah.
Mwah.
Bye.